Hello, my name is Shuttle and welcome back for another episode of Victoria 3 as Japan. And in previous episode, well, we was just mostly setting up a little bit of industries and all that sort of stuff. We did manage to abolish the serfdom at least, and we're trying to enact the religious schools right now. Mandatory service unlocked for, oh right, so more conscripted. So we're going to have up to 140 right now. This got within samurai. Oh, we're still trying to boost samurais to be fair. But if we can get a 15% success chance, then I'll take it. For the religious schools, because increasing the literary rate would be quite smart for us to do, slowly but surely. Oh, and Netherlands is having a revolution by the looks of it. Dutch East Indies peasant revolt. Oh right, so the Dutch East Indies is having a revolt. Well, I don't think I'm really needed in there. Some particular neutrality. We're not gonna build. Oh, actually, we've got our military old navy now, so let's unlock this. We'll get. I suppose we'll get the explorer. We can do some of the exploration stuff. Whaling industry completed. A dangerous business. The efficiency of our whaling station in Kanto has proved to have a dangerous counterpart, and debt has become common to almost every voyage. It is a high price to pay, but the profit is equally high. We need to ensure the safety of the sailors. That reduces the whaling employee mortality by 2% for 5 years, and improves our... Actually, who is... Oh, right, that's the admiral's popularity. Or we increase it through, but I suppose we'll reduce the mortality a little bit. Our pop increase is okay, but it could definitely be a lot better. So now we've got 40% chance of passing this law. Come on then. Nope. Well, rousing speech captivates the public, so we can get another 50% boost. Or we can increase the popularity of the clergy even further. We'll take the 15% chance. That'll still be pretty decent. So we're still losing a bit of money, but as long as we still have a cash reserve of a little bit, I'm not too worried about it. The loyalist numbers are actually dropping a little bit. I suppose there was the serfdom thing, but I reckon actually how much? Oh wow, the industrialist approval is increased drastically from the loyalist numbers. Even the samurais get a little bit in there. Boost for the... Okay, so they are still -8 of approval, so very unhappy still. But once we get through that, military goods cost is going to be reduced. Law enactment. Oh, increased by another 15. Okay, well, it's now 71% chance. But it looks like the radical numbers, they are actually dropping a little bit. Not very quickly, but they are dropping. And now I suppose it's going to show that, yeah, our loyalist numbers have been dropping a little bit as well. We are about to... Oh, right, we got our food industry. And we just got our lathe unlocked. So let's go ahead and... Atmospheric engine might not be a bad one. To increase the productions of a lot of things already. Or mechanical tools for the sulfide pulping, for more paper. Or we could do some military stuff. We're currently getting the paddle steamer for more convoys. To be fair, as we don't do any trading yet, it's not really that much of a thing. Let's actually get the currency standards completed real quick. I like to go for the things that are already spreading, just speed those up a little bit further. Now we're getting the intensive agriculture. Right, but we've got the lathe, so let's have a look at the textile mill for... Actually, we can probably just go through here. So textile mills, dye workshops, and that's going to increase the dye consumption a little bit, but increase the clothing production a lot. Oh right, so it doesn't take any extra fabrics, but sure, I'll take that. Furniture manufacturing, so the lathes are going to use a bit of tools in here, but the extra furniture production is also going to be quite nice. And then class works, the lead class, we don't have any lead mines yet is the problem, although we are going to be, well, I suppose we could at least start building one. So we're going to then start producing more glass, because I suspect that that's going to be quite useful. Currency standards unlocked, so that leads to banking. We could go for the stock exchange. Well, okay, that's mostly trade routes. Not really the worst thing. Medical decrease wouldn't be too bad either. I suppose we could get the... If we go the intensive agriculture, that's going to increase the grain productions a lot. Plus we get a bit of fertilizer from the ranch. And I think also a bit more fabrics, to be fair. And of course, more or better military wouldn't necessarily be the worst one either. We still don't have any gun production or small arms production yet, because we honestly don't need it quite yet. We'll probably need to increase our navy quite a bit though soon enough. Because if we were to go for romanticism, we could maybe start passing the agrarianism, which would allow us to get at least a little bit of investment pool. Not a lot though. Medical decrease would be good for the charity hospitals, admittedly, which is something that we could probably try to pass soon. Or we just go for the, let's see, paddle steamer or society, what was it again? Well, it hasn't, let's just go for the medical decrease, yeah. getting the pot increasing sooner rather than later will definitely help us. And there we go. Now we're getting our man of wars. So we'll hopefully... Oh, there we go. Religious schools passed. That does cost us quite a bit of bureaucracy, though. So I suppose that's another thing that we should start increasing. Where are the areas that need the most points? Kansai, which is our capital, is needing the most extra bureaucracy. We'll also get another government administration in there. At least one. So we got the tooling workshop, iron mine, lead mine, government administration. So that's going to keep us somewhat busy. Now, admittedly, most of the reason why we're losing money right now is just the lack of bureaucracy. And there is work against the system, that's -5%. There's so many modifiers in there that it's probably just going to be reduced from there. Nothing too bad in there, I'd say. So restore serfdom or national militia? Hold on a minute, national militia? Oh, right, we can't pass the professional army right now. National militia would be a little bit less loss in there, but the armed forces would reduce... Oh, right, we only have 5 barracks per state. That's not a lot. I think we want to go for the professional army, but there's just not that much support for it. So we'll have to wait on that one. Let's actually have a look at... So the colonization... Samurais are pretty much the only one that would support that right now, so that's also not a possibility. And there's we can't get rid of the isolationism yet. And for the traditionalism, we need to first unlock the agrarianism, basically, to get rid of that. Or, I suppose, technically speaking, interventionism would be... Well, there's just there's 2 marginalized groups that support that, so that's not a very quick way to get rid of it. We've still got a little bit extra authority, actually, which is a little bit surprising. I suppose we could put in some consumption taxes in here for, I don't know, luxury furniture. Not a lot of extra money out of it, but, you know, it's at least utilizing the authority for something. Although I suppose the decrease could also help quite a bit. But do we have low market access? We do actually have low market access in Hokkaido. So what we could do there is build up a port. Speaking of ports, though, let's use cargo poles for all of them. That's going to increase the convoy numbers a little bit. The Kanto eruption. I guess we'll spend a bit more money on supporting that. We got quite a bit of additional expenses right now. It's 10,000 per week, which is half of what we lose right now. But once we get the tooling workshop, that's going to allow us to increase productions even further, at least to some degree. And is there, I suppose there is some other stuff that we could also boost. Like the fish. Oh, actually, yeah, let's start using more clippers for more fish. And then logging industry, that would be a lot of wood produced, but the extra tools you needed. I suppose we are about to get the tooling workshop done anyway, so we could put in the sawmills for all of them. Probably not going to be that big of a deal, right? There we go, then the iron mines is slowly improving. I suppose one thing that we are going to have a problem with in Hokkaido is just not enough pops in there, really. And since we are probably not going to get very far into the open borders or anything like that, it's going to be difficult to increase... Well, I mean, that's kind of the reason why we want to get the medical decree, so we can get the charity hospitals to start improving the healthcare, at least to some degree. But there we go, the iron mine is underway shortly. And then the lead mines, government administration, under the port. Slowly but surely things... Oh, the iron price is a little bit expensive right now. And the biggest expenditures are the government wages, then the good for government buildings and military wages. Good for military buildings is fairly low, admittedly. And additional expenses. Okay, so that is actually dropping slowly now, so, you know, we might be making some more money soon enough. And, you know, once the iron mine is done, the lead mine is also going to be done soon. And after that, we can start increasing the glass production. Which actually, do we still need a lot of services? We do. We also need a lot of groceries. I don't suppose there's anything over here that we can do. Oh, there is actually the sweeteners. We do produce a bit of sugar, so increasing that production would not be a bad idea. And then the pot still would increase the liquor production. Not that we necessarily need it too badly, but it's probably okay. The grocery price is through the roof, though. But I'm hoping that we can increase that. I mean, I suppose we could build just another level for the food industry there. It's going to take a while before everything is sort of back in schedule, so to speak. Or back in order, but it'll get better. So we've still got minus 10% with the events that we had during passing the laws. Speaking of laws, though, is there any other laws that we could try passing? Not really. Let's have a look at the government reforms then. Well, I suppose, we're going to go for the samurais again. That will reduce the legitimacy quite a bit. It'll probably be sufficient. And then we've got 10% chance for the professional army. Shogunate would not like that, but the samurais would absolutely love that. And I think I love that as well. So we'll do that one. So there's a bit of negative effects there. The loyalist numbers have been dropping quite drastically. Radicals haven't luckily been increasing too much. But once we get the lead mine going, we might actually... How's the tool price? It's not too bad yet. The iron price could probably be improved a little bit, so we'll build another iron mine in there. In advance already. Oh, we're getting the government administration finally. I suppose, well, we're still losing a lot of money, so we probably don't... Well, technically speaking, we could just increase the taxes to... Although, actually, if we increase the taxes, our legitimacy is going to drop into the middle section there. Currently, it's a legitimate government, but if we go down, it's going to start increasing the radicals, I believe, a little bit. Or at least the approval rating for the factions that aren't, or interest groups that are not in the government will have their approval drop. So probably something that we should not be touching right now. But if we can just increase the bureaucracy a little bit, that's going to fix our taxation anyway. Like, we've still got 65,000 unrealized taxes. And that, well, I suppose a lot of that is due to the lack of bureaucracy. That's 27% tax waste. And plus, there's a lot of tax waste from other areas in the stuff as well. But if we can, you know, every time that we build a government administration and build all areas that don't have enough bureaucracy or the tax capacity yet, things will slowly improve in terms of taxation, I reckon. And we can get more from the consumption taxes and all that sort of stuff as well. But the grocery price is very high. Opium prices through the roof as well. There's a tiny bit of demand for it, but not too much. Oh, decreasing by 10%. Never mind, I suppose we won't pass that again. Well, is there anything else that we could try passing? I suppose there is the... We might go for the colonial resettlement, actually. Although, exploitation, if we're going to buy a lot of... or conquer a lot of stuff that we don't core... then this would be actually good for the extra throughput in unincorporated states. Peasants would, of course, hate that. Industrialists would hate that. But the samurais would love that. We'll see if we can pass that. Of course, if we do pass that, then that's going to be using a lot more bureaucracy, which is probably not going to be all that great for us. But of course, we could just queue up another one. Right, so Chubu is probably another one we should start building administration buildings at. So we'll put another one there. Now that we've got the lead, let's have a look at the... over here we had at least the class work, so if we start using the leaded class there, that's going to be 20 lead. I believe that's going to be all the lead that we are going to be producing right now. But, you know, it's at least something. And it gives a lot of demand for it, so there's a lot of reason for them to hire people at the mine. So that's good. And how's the loyalist numbers are still dropping fairly quickly. The radical numbers are now increasing. Do we still need a lot of... Oh, medical decrees unlocked. Excellent. Romanticism, I mean, that would be pretty good. I'll get that one so we can maybe try getting the agrarianism up and running. Now, we could increase the taxation a little bit. We are already got on quite a bit of debt, so I suppose that might be a smart idea. Of course, we're going to increase the authority. We can't increase the bureaucracy, though. And colonial exploitation is going to be even bigger deficit there. I suppose we just need to improve our... government administration slowly but surely. Of course, once the modifiers start wearing off, which, how long do we need to worry about those? That's 17 months for one of them, and 24 months for the other one. Plus, there's a lot of the additional expenses there, 7,000 total, those are going to be expiring soon enough as well. Man of War's price is slowly increased. I suppose we could maybe get another naval base in here. Oh, another thing that we haven't started building yet is the university. We should probably start working on those as soon as possible. Backroom dealings exposed. I guess we'll just go with the so, such as nation politics, and just try not to pass that then, I guess. We could try going with the colonial resettlement, I guess. Although we'll probably want to make sure that the peasants are no longer angry before we try that again. I want to get colonizing Hokkaido and then Sakhalin, because we kind of need those areas. There we go, the food industry is underway. The grocery price is actually dropping a little bit now, which is definitely good news for us. Still losing way too much money, though. Way too much money. We can't put any more taxes in here. I mean, we could raise the taxes and get some more money from there. If we start going too high in the debt here, then that's probably something we'll have to do. But as soon as we start reducing some of the bad modifiers from here, like 5% from our bureaucracy is already quite a bit. So those... Oh, general died. Okay, well, that actually reduces the bureaucracy use even further right now. They want landed voting, but I'm not going to do that. Luckily, there's no radicalism in there. That group. There we go. Romanticism. That increases our... Oh, and paddle steamer has been unlocked as well. Right, I think at this stage we might want to... Well, I mean, suppose the banking would be increased in minting, less loan interest rate. Central archives would increase the tax capacity, which would be very big portion of extra money for us. Stock exchange wouldn't be too bad. We could also try to unlock the line infantry, so we can start working on updating our army a little bit. Because right now it is, of course, just irregulars with no artillery or anything like that. And it's not particularly great. So getting the light infantry, slowly but surely, will be very beneficial. And since we produce lead and sulfur, we can get a lot of ammunition production as well. There we go, the... Oh, ethics of exploitation. I'd say it is morally correct, right? Yeah, there we go, that's going to be 20% increase in the chance of passing that. But we are using a lot of our bureaucracy right now, so we are going to be in pretty bad situation for a little bit. Of course, that one's going to give us another... Actually, how much is it per level? 50. Okay, so that's going to drop the bureaucracy deficit to 250 at least. Or somewhere around there. Then I suppose we could put in one more level in our capital as well. So slowly but surely those are improving the situation. We're still missing a lot of wood. And of course Hokkaido still has a bit of a problem with... Oh, right, because the port isn't fully manned. At least it is an actual cargo port. There's that, but yeah, the population over here is just too small. But once we start colonizing the rest of this state... ooh, there's a lot of goldfields there. There's not actually that much pops in here either. But if we can increase the total population in here a little bit... Like, it's already... Well, it's only growing by 200 per year. Because we don't have the health system yet. Just reducing mortality through there would be very beneficial for us already. Okay, sugar price is starting to be a bit high. I don't think we can actually have any sugar plantations though, can we? No, I'm pretty sure that's a no. Well, let's have a look at the rules. So, rice farms, let's put all of them into the fig orchards, so that increases the sugar production a little bit. A little bit less grain, but the grain price is not going to be affected all that much. That will at least help us a little bit. Then there's the wheat farm. We could actually start producing some wine. Opposition members put forth demands. More pragmatically inclined members of the industrialists, currently opposed to the passing of colonial resettlement, had offered to change the stance where they be offered certain political concessions, such concessions would not be popular with the samurai, however. The samurais are fairly loyal if we try to pass this anyway, so I think it'll be fine. Although it's 44% now. Well, if we can get a few more of these government administration buildings, we'll probably be able to bounce back from here, but it might be a little bit tricky. I suppose we'll just increase the productions a bit further. Also, no, we didn't unlock the stuff at the paper mills quite yet. But we might want to get some mining going on for the sulfur already. Well, maybe not quite yet, but soon. Same for the coal. We'll probably need some of that soon enough. Legitimacy is a little bit down. Duel? Who's this? Interest group shogunate, alright. And, oh. We're gonna ban the dueling. Although it would probably be the more samurai, or sort of a traditional way of letting them duel, but at the same time, I think right now that might be a bad idea. Peasants are very unhappy, industrialists... Oh, industrialists are no longer marginalized. I see. There we go, we've got the administration in Shubu, so that's going to reduce the tax deficit. And of course the... Oh, right, no, only just interest rates there. Oh, the university has been done. Okay, that is going to increase our innovation at least, so that's definitely good news there. But we need... Oh, hello. Oh, we lost one of the modifiers as well, so it's only about minus 200 bureaucracy that we're losing right now. And the tax, unrealized taxes is still minus 70,000, so we've got quite a bit of ways to go. Oh, the crochet price is going up again. I suppose the consumption of crochet is just increasing. Increasing to section by another 10%. Okay, so we've got a coin flip now, more or less, on the colonial resettlement. We've got 2 government administrations underway. Is there anything else that we need badly? More luxury clothing. So the textile mill over here could probably use a bit of an upgrade. Sure. Hey, we got line infantry unlocked. Excellent. Let's go focus on production, so let's get the intensive agriculture done sooner rather than later. Then we can get some of these other things that we are going to need. Oh, there's a bit of radicalism from the no colonial affairs thing. But we need it to colonize the rest of the areas that we want in here. Right on our backyard. The university is gonna, well, not only is it gonna give us innovation, but it's also gonna make sure that the industries in here are gonna be able to operate at most times. It does use a bit of paper, so the paper price is something that we need to keep an eye on. There's a paper mill over here, but I believe there's there's paper mills over here as well. Let's go ahead and give this paper mill a bit of an upgrade. As well as the furniture manufacturer could probably use an upgrade as well. And then I suppose back to building more government administration buildings to reduce the bureaucracy shortfall, plus increase our tax efficiency. All things would be quite nice there. Right, but then after that we should get a little bit of arms industry somewhere. It will make Shikoku our arms industry location. As well as the shipyards producing the man of wars. Right now we don't need a lot of them. We might put in another naval base in here again. Oh, there we go, colonial resettlement, so that's going to be a massive deficit on taxes. We are already on mid-level taxes though, so it's just a matter of increasing the government administration, I suppose. But now we can start... establish colony over here in Hokkaido. It doesn't take all that long either, because we've got a pretty good population. Incorporated population and that. And this one's incorporated state, yeah, good. So we don't need to incorporate that one. Although, I suppose once the pops increase in here a little bit, it will have some impact. We can't pass the, or even try to pass the... Ooh, professional army is 9% right now. It's probably not sufficient. Although, I suppose that would improve the approval rating for the peasants. So the infrastructure levels will be higher, because that is... Oh no, it's the tech spread that will be higher. I mean, well, that's still good enough. Coal depleted in Hokkaido. It's unfortunate. There's not going to be any migration anyway, but we can get a gold mine there now. So that's going to be good. We'll get that done first, then we'll continue work on the government administration. And the construction cost is a bit expensive. Well, actually, the construction, well, it's 11,000, so it's a little bit expensive. And the money that we're making is quite reduced. We might have to increase the taxes even further, just to reduce the deficit there. For the time being. Hopefully we don't get too many... Oh, intensive agriculture, excellent. Hopefully we don't get too much problems there. I suppose mechanized, or mechanical tools rather, that is something we'll go for next. Hopefully that will start spreading as well. No, it's spreading the canneries, which is not really a bad idea. It's going to start using a bit more fish on the grocery production. So the loyalist numbers are dropping fast right now. Still got a massive deficit in the bureaucracy side of things as well, but we are hopefully getting a little bit more... Oh, right. We've got... Oh, we can get another gold mine there. I suppose we'll queue that... Oh, 3 gold mines now. We'll cube those up, but we'll get the first one done initially, and then we'll get the others done later. We'll need to get a few other things done first, before we go too far into that. So wine price is pretty high. We do have the wine production quite minimalistic in here. I suppose if we use harvesting tools, we can reduce the land force use in here. Oh, and professional army passed. Wow. Alright, well, that's actually pretty good. Because now our army will be much more effective. Return once an alliance. No, I don't think I'll take that one. Right, but then at this stage, there's not too many laws that we can pass. So let's reform the government again. I suppose to summarize, we don't need to bolster anymore. We can go for the clergy again. That's going to improve our legitimacy a bit more. And let's have a look at the laws here. So there's the health system. Be 14% chance of passing, but right now, it's probably best not to do that. Mostly because it's going to be yet another hole to pump bureaucracy into, and that's just not going to be a thing that we can afford doing right now. We're lacking too much bureaucracy anyway. The standard of living hasn't really been increasing for us too much yet, but we've got a large population and the construction speed that we have is just not sufficient to provide everything. But slowly but surely, I'm sure the things that will start getting better and better. I do wonder though, should we perhaps instead go for the canneries? I mean, that's... that would sped up a little bit, but it's not really going to be that massive an impact, I reckon. But we've got the innovation of 52. Still plenty of room to improve there for sure, but Hokkaido is going to be ours soon enough. So that's at least going to provide, or make sure that nothing bad is going to happen there. How's the population increasing there? It's about 500 per year right now. Mortality is still relatively high, but if we could reduce that a bit further, that'd be pretty nice. Is there actually a way to see the mortality rate in here? Like, what is affecting there? Not directly from there, at least. There might be some ways to see it. I guess we'll just wait. Right, so is there... Okay, we lost the minus 5% modifiers in the bureaucracy, so at this stage it's just increasing the production of bureaucracy. That will be what we need. I suppose over here we got a bit of a lack of bureaucracy as well, so we'll get a level there. Put that before the gold mines. Because those will have a bigger impact right now for our money rather than the gold mines. We could increase the taxes all the way to the max to start making some money. Gonna wait with that a little bit though. Just to not get too much radicals and keep loyalist numbers. Some language classrooms. Other students sometimes use the native language in Japanese schools. Some have called for teachers to penalize the use of these languages, forcing children to speak official language of Japanese shogunate. Yeah, we'll increase the assimilation. Speaking of cultures, though, 99% are Japanese. Tiny bit of Ainu. There's like 50,000. There's 90,000 Han, and there's less than 1,000 Micronesians. Alliance proposal from Joseon. Sure. I usually refer to that as Korea, though, so be prepared. We do have quite a bit of authority, actually. Let's have a look at the decrees. What do we have right now? So we got the... We could probably get an industry over there in Shubu. Although that was supposed to be the... right, that was supposed to be our farmlands. I suppose Shugoku could be doing that as well. It's got a pretty decent amount of capacity in there. Let's get the... I suppose if we get a couple of rice farms there, that might not be a bad idea. Another tea... Actually, a dye plantation might be a pretty good idea as well. I'm sure that we'll need plenty of those. Especially with the increase in textile mills and... Ooh, how's the lead situation? The lead price isn't too high. We could probably get another level of the mine there. And then we're going to start using more in the glassworks. Like over here, if we start using that, it's going to increase the lead price quite a bit, but it does increase the glass production as well. I suppose we could also have a look at the urban center over here. Maybe give them a market square as well. That's going to increase the service production a decent chunk. And our GDP is almost 20 million now. I'm hoping that by the end of next decade we'll at least have 100 million already, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. Okay, I think the colonization of Hokkaido is almost done. It's like just a tiny bit that needs to be colonized. And the population there is very... So, well, it's 70,000 now, so it's increasing 800 per year. And if we reduce the mortality further, then it's going to be better and better. Why is the standard of living there? It's 13 actually, so that's not too shabby. And did we just end the... No, there's still a little bit more colonization there. Suppose we could probably do colonization in Sakhalin already as well. It's going to be slightly slower. It's not that much slower though. And there's... Yeah, we don't have a lot of pops there yet. I suppose what... Well, we don't necessarily need to have a port because it is still connected through Hokkaido. Hokkaido, on the other hand, does need to have the port there. But it is already in use, the gold mine, and we can't do too much in there. It doesn't... yeah, it's not going to give us all that much money yet. Colonization of Hokkaido completed, so that's going to speed up a little bit in there. And I suppose there is... Oh, celebs we can start colonizing, but that requires the... at least quinine to be in any shape or form effective. So we'll probably wait on that one. Unhealthy economy, yeah, I suppose that is... We got 3 million deficit already, or 3 million credit. But I suppose if we reduce the paper price, we get a bit more government administration and all that, we might have to increase the taxes now. Just to make sure that we're not losing too much money. And then as soon as we start improving our bureaucracy further and further, and the tax efficiency and all that, then that way we can make sure that we are already paying back the loans. Unfortunately, that does mean that our loyalist numbers are dropping very rapidly right now. And the legitimacy isn't all that high either. But if we can fix the situation slowly but surely, that is fine by me. And we're getting the mechanical tools in 11 months, so that's not going to take too long. However, it is going to take at least until next episode, because we are out of time for this one. So if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, got the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.